One thing you got to say about this show, I don't think there's ever been a television show with more diversity.
That's because you can interview anybody.
Yeah, I'm interested in everything.
Anybody, as long as the story is interesting, as long as it takes you somewhere.
Well, we've had some weeks, you know, where you could have Blago, and don't forget, tune in tomorrow night for Nelson Mandela.
Give me your whole mind.
Yeah, I'm listening. Okay. I haven't heard the answer, but go ahead.
That's because you haven't quit talking.
That was a wild night there, wasn't it?
I remember Al Gore saying that and you can see it by the video, he sat right next to him, really close. He thought the closer he could get to him, the more it would upset him.
Al was a champion debater at Harvard.
Right. Well, and remember, going into it, everybody thought that Al was not going to do as well.
And NAFTA was going to lose. And Clinton called the next morning and said, I owe you big time.
Viewing a car apparently being driven by Al Cowling, one of O.J.'s oldest friends and a former teammate.
I didn't know what it was. I saw that car in the control room, and I said, who's in the car? And they said, we think O.J. Simpson's in there. And then all of a sudden you have a hearing, he's got a gun to his head.
And I don't know Los Angeles, so they've given me a map, and I'm following the route.
He's driven through 2 counties, and we followed him all the way.
Welcome to Haiti, How You Can Help. Mick Jagger, Jennifer Lopez, Ringo Starr, Seal, Ben Stiller, and many others are here to say thank you.
It was the first time we'd ever done a telethon, and I remember when it first started, we had all these famous people with the phones. More people kept saying yes. We had to turn down huge guests for this, and it came up to almost 10 million.
Very rewarding that night.
Got a date with an angel, you're off key.
Gonna be there at 7.
Goodbye.
What? Why? I mean, how did that...
I don't know.
He was a good kisser. So maybe that's why you liked it, because he actually was a good kisser.
It wasn't bad.
Everybody gonna dance.
Well, this has to be one of my favorites. This was so cool. Remember, they walked out at the end of the show. One of the biggest things of my life was Paul McCartney. I was talking, and Ringo walked up to him and said, hey, bloke. And Paul said, I'd like you to meet my friend Wendy. I thought, okay. All of a sudden, I flashed back to 3rd grade with my posters. I think that was the biggest moment of 17 years.
I can't believe what we've done. I could cry from this. This is a fascinating book. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You ought to be very proud of this book.
Yes.
Thanks for everything.
Love you. My name is Wendy Walker. I'm Larry King's executive producer here at CNN on the set of Larry King Live. I am usually behind the scenes, not in front of the camera. 25 years. Can you believe it? 25 years, and the show is going off the air at the end of this year. And I have written a book really taking you behind the scenes of Larry King Live to tell you how it was really done. For example, the famous Marlon Brando kiss on the air, remember that?
Goodbye.
I got in trouble for that because I'm responsible for what goes on the air. Here he is kissing me after he kissed Larry. He was a good kisser. So maybe that's why you liked it, because he actually was a good kisser.
It wasn't bad.
And that famous O.J. Bronco chase?
Simpson, the passenger in the car, has a gun at his head.
That night was really the beginning of reality television. There have been thousands and thousands of guests on this set. It is not who he has had on, it's who he hasn't had on. How about the day that Michael Jackson died?
The world's reaction to this stunning event.
We had to change the show 3 times. That was the beginning of that amazing story into the Michael we did not know. And there is breaking news during the show when you have to just start over when the show is on the air, such as the night of the Haiti earthquake. The list goes on and on. Paul said, I'd like you to meet my friend Wendy. I thought, okay. All of a sudden, I flashed back to 3rd grade with my posters, and they were my 2 favorite Beatles, and I said, okay, he just called me his friend. And oh, there was Mick Jagger. We finally got him after working on that booking for 17 years. And what about if a guest is late for a live show? Or if the guest walks off the set live on television? What do?
Don't you want to speak out?
No.
And they're the presidents, from Obama to Reagan, and celebrities from Gaga to Sinatra. I have great behind-the-scenes stories of Larry talking to Barbra Streisand and leaving me at lunch with Nancy Reagan. He's truly one of a kind. Before Larry King Live, I also covered the Reagan, Bush, and Clinton White Houses, traveling to over 50 countries and setting up U.S.-Soviet summits all over the world.
This is a fascinating book. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
You ought to be very proud of this book.
So come behind the scenes with me and pick up my book, The Producer. You'll get a sneak peek into the last 30 years of CNN.